Hello and welcome. Oh, I'm so excited. We are starting a new series here. Welcome to an exciting new series at Peters Township Community Television called Hometown Conversations with Sharon St. and Jen DeLucia. And I am Jen DeLucia. As hosts, we want to educate, enlighten, empower the viewers by featuring guests who are making an impact in our communities. Plus, we'll dive into seasonal topics to keep you informed and inspired every step of the way. Sharon?
And we are so thrilled and delighted to be here today with our first guest, and that is the Chief of the Fire Department of Peters Township, Chief McLaughlin. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and to be your first guest.
Yes,
it's
our first guest.
Yes, we're very excited.
What an honor.
Thank you. So we're going to start with some questions because I feel like during the holidays, a lot of people are really worried about, their Christmas trees or anything like that. So Sharon, you want to start with the first question?
Sure. So Chief, what do you feel are the most common fire hazards during the holiday season?
I would say the holiday season doesn't discriminate from what household hazards would be, and that's mostly kitchen hazards.
Okay.
So we always tell everybody, hey, make sure that you're cooking, you don't leave cooking unattended. That's a big one as well, but I don't have the statistic offhand, but I do know that the largest percentage of home fires are started in the kitchen area.
Oh, really?
So, Chief, with that said, and that makes perfect sense, what fire extinguishers do you think are best to have on hand in the kitchen, and where should we have them stored safely?
So that's an excellent question. Not only do I want fire extinguishers in the kitchen, but I want them on every level of the home.
Okay.
So if you have a two-story house, what we recommend is having an extinguisher on every level. One outside or near the bedrooms, one on the first floor, preferably in or near the kitchen, and if you have a basement level, one in the basement as well. The type of extinguisher, they're a very simple, small extinguisher, and they're not intimidating for the lay person to use.
Oh, wow.
That's the biggest thing. People get intimidated by fire extinguishers because, well, I don't know how to use this. But we do have training at the fire department to teach people how to use them. But we recommend a fire extinguisher that's just home size, and it's called an ABC extinguisher, and those are the types of fires that it puts out. Our type A, which is your wood and normal textile materials; B are liquid fires; and C, anything electrical. That said, too, there's more than just fire extinguishers that can help extinguish fires. One of the big things that we have come in contact with are fire blankets. They're much less intimidating.
Okay.
As much as I'd like to take credit for this is actually my wife's doing. She bought a fire blanket in a 2-pack and hung one in our kitchen. We had never tried them before, so I took one to our fire open house in 2024, where we set a kitchen fire and extinguished the fire with one of the fire blankets. The big thing that she was looking for was she didn't want something that she didn't know how to use in a fire extinguisher. She wanted something that she knew how. It mounts inside the cabinet, she pulls it down and can set it right over the stove.
What is it made out of? Like, that's what I'm...
Its exact material, I don't know. It's heavy, it's simple, and for her, and I would assume for many of our homeowners, it's not as intimidating as a fire extinguisher. So, and there's not a mess to clean up afterwards. The big thing is to have a way to extinguish a fire, but we need to make sure that we're attending our cooking at all times, not going into another room, not leaving the house, things like that, so that we're there to stop it should something be.
Right, that is, and you can get those online. I mean, is there a store, like I always wondered this too, like even Sharon with like fire extinguishers, where do you buy them?
Where do we buy them?
So it's a great question, and we don't want anybody in the township to go without. So if we go to a home or somewhere just in our general travels, it might be to a medical call, we're going to ask the occupants of the home, do you have a fire extinguisher? We're going to check their home for smoke detectors. It's 2025. They're a $20 device. There is no reason why anybody shouldn't have a smoke detector that's mounted and functioning in their home.
Right.
So if they don't, and we're there, we're going to make it so that there is one before we leave. We carry them on our trucks. We install them for the residents while we're there. And that includes fire extinguishers to a limited extent. They are still on the pricier side. And when I say that, for us to be able to provide with the 8,000 plus homes we have in Peters Township, we can't buy 8,000 fire extinguishers. So we do have a couple on hand for the people that need them if they had to use one, and we'll replace it for them, or if they have an extinguisher that's expired or out of service, we'll replace it for them as well. But honestly, in addition to buying them online, again, it's 2025 and they can show up on our door in 2 days.
It's true.
There's many stores, whether it be the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, or even our local hardware store here in Peters Township. They're very easy and accessible to get.
Oh, that's great. Okay, let me ask you this now, because we're getting into the holidays. Dun, da, da, da. What safety tips do you recommend for using like holiday lights and decorations? Like, for instance, I used to put that black tape around my lights, especially outside, but then I noticed, like at my brother's house, he had black tape around his like plugs in the inside. So I didn't know if that was like something that we need to do still.
Biggest and easiest thing, use outdoor lights and outdoor extension cords for outdoors.
Outdoor, because you know they say indoor, outdoor, so you're like, okay.
If they're both, you can use them in both.
Okay.
There's no harm in using an outdoor extension cord inside, but don't use an indoor extension cord outside.
Okay, don't.
Okay.
Don't use.
Everybody have that. If it says both, you can use it indoors and outdoors, but never use an indoor extension cord to the exterior.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Make sure
Why
they're
is
outdoor
that?
rated. Weather resistance.
Right.
Water and electricity don't mix very well.
Oh, no.
You're right.
So in addition to being a fire hazard, they could also be an electrical shock hazard for us as well. When we have extension cords in the home, because trust me, this is my house as well.
Yeah.
The North Pole has hit my house already, and we're sitting here at November 13th.
It is a little early.
No, it's not. No, ever since COVID, November 1st has been our decorating day at our house. Yeah, 3 young kids, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Oh, yes.
We'd make Christmas magic happen in February if we could.
Oh, I love that. It's exciting for them.
Well, actually, it does go into February because it takes a long time.
So are
to
you
take
outside like, Clark Griswold, and you're putting all the lights up and
I was last year.
on the roof?
One time, I actually opted for the permanent lighting after that. So yes.
Great idea.
Yeah, I put that up
Great
last
idea.
year. I did the permanent lighting because in addition to the fire hazards, we have hazards of falling off of ladders, and it does happen. There's a reason why the fire department exists in Peters, and it's not because we are completely safe with everything we do. Right. We always preach safety to our residents and to our businesses, our occupants, so no matter how we can be safe. But other things with extension cords and power strips, make sure they're UL approved or some type of third-party testing. Make sure they're not, coming over and we have these rinky-dink things that may or may not work when there's a surge of power, or if they, heaven forbid, should get wet. Make sure they're approved. UL was one of those safety ratings that you may see on there, so have all of our residents and everything checked to make sure their power strips are approved for the use that they're using them.
I didn't even think about that, because now they have those ones that are on a timer. So, you can not be home and all of a sudden your lights go up. And I always got nervous about that. I'm like, I'd rather hit the switch and know that I'm home when the lights are on. But a lot of people have those timers now.
I use a smart timer as well.
Yeah, they're safe, right?
It's Wi-Fi connected. The big thing,
For outdoors and indoors?
I use for both indoors and outdoors. The big thing that I want to make sure that I see on them is that UL or third-party testing approval, that this was tested by an independent agency and it did pass their standards.
I didn't think about that too, because if you think about this, Sharon, like you can get extension cords and all these different lights and stuff in so many different stores now, the dollar store, other stores. So you don't know for sure where they're coming from if they are approved. So you're saying that you should definitely look at the tag to make sure it has the UL.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, you'll check to see if there's a tag on it. If it's a power strip, it may have it on the back. But you've seen if you plug something in, and I keep looking at the outlets over there.
Yes.
If you plug something in, there might be that
watching you guys.
that little silver tag that hangs off of it.
Yeah.
That's where your rating and your approvals are going to be.
Okay, nice. Sharon?
So jumping in again, another holiday big feature in many people's homes are candles.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I love candles.
We love candles.
My wife loves candles as well. And that's perfectly fine. We
Okay.
can be safe with our candles. We can put them in places where little kids can't get to them. And when I say little kids, it doesn't have to be somebody like my 4-year-old. It could be somebody like my 9-year-old who comes at counter height with her hair.
Right.
Or making sure they're pushed back.
That's true.
They're in the center where our general daily living isn't going to disrupt them.
Right.
One of the things that we've adopted in our home because of things like that are candle warmers. The little plate.
Love that.
Yes, but you have to plug those in though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In making sure they're approved.
So is that safer than a candle being?
I would say that warm plate is safer than an open flame.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I'll put it that way.
Well, you're educating us.
I don't have statistics on that, but I'll say my common sense, the little that I have, will tell me that warm plate will be a little safer than the open flame will be, if that makes sense.
All right, I'm going to tell my husband I have to order all these new candles that are
Oh, don't blame me. Don't blame
designer
me.
ones.
These are things over time that we can accrue and make a plan for them. Like candles are a prevalent thing, especially around the holidays. We like the ones that smell like the warm cocoa and all that stuff. So yeah, without a doubt, there's a safe way to do them. Keeping them back where people can't reach them. The papers that fly in our kitchen because our kitchen becomes our office. We do homework in there at night. Yeah, so making sure that we're safe and they're at a safe distance away from everything else. And if you're going to leave the house, make sure they're all extinguished.
I get anxiety. Sometimes I'll leave the house and think, oh my gosh, is my candle still on? Did I blow out the candle? Then I have to call somebody, hey, can you make sure that I blew out the candle? Because it makes me crazy. During the summer, the one time we had a candle. Actually, I'm not going to point any fingers. I don't know who did it, so I'm not going to call them out here. But there was a candle on and it was left on all night on the porch. I freaked out. I'm like, whoa, that made me so nervous. Now nothing did happen. It went all the way down to like where it wasn't even, but it was still lit.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience, right?
It is.
Luckily, nothing happened.
Right.
But now that piques your senses now, you want to make sure everything's taken care of before you go to bed.
And I know we have so many questions for you, but just as I'm listening and I'm taking notes, and maybe whoever's watching this, hopefully they're taking some notes.
Yes.
But do we have any kind of cheat sheets, like a holiday cheat sheet that we can maybe, give our audience and listeners?
Absolutely. Our department's all about cheat sheets.
Okay.
And
I know, I need it.
trust me, it's make it
I'm
simple.
like, I can't write fast.
And one of the reasons why I didn't want to know any questions beforehand is because I want these genuine questions that will come from our residents. That's what we want. I've taken that for granted at this point in time. I'm too ingrained into the fire safety aspect. I stay at a hotel and within 20 seconds I know where the fire extinguisher are and where the smoke detector is.
Yes.
So I think differently in that aspect. So I wanted these type of questions. And no, you're exactly right. We will have a cheat sheet, and one of the things that we do to promote holiday safety or any type of safety is on our Facebook page. Is one of the places where we'll distribute this. On our website, we distribute it as well and make it available for the public. Our website address is www.ptfd64.org, and that's where you can find a lot of that information as well.
I love that. Thank you. So here's another question for you, and this one is, I feel like this one's always the one that people are concerned about. Is there any special fire safety considerations for fireplaces or space heaters?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's talk about the first one first.
Okay.
Fireplaces. I love a wood-burning fireplace.
Yes.
There's nothing on a snowy day that's nice and cozy. Maybe it's a Sunday and we're watching football, something like that, to have a fire burning in the fireplace. Get them inspected and get them cleaned regularly.
What do you mean regularly?
Regularly.
Like
so it depends on how often you burn.
Okay.
We have people that burn in a wood stove every week that are going to need to have them inspected annually. And then we have some that are only doing it, once a month or once a season, and that may be able to go a year or two. The reason why we don't want to go longer than that is because there are other factors that can come into that besides the fire, right? Birds can make nests inside of that, and that's part of the inspection that a certified
We've had that.
fireplace inspector will take care of.
And should, to that point, should they be like a chimney specialist with a level 2 certification?
They should have a certification that qualifies them to inspect and clean that space.
Okay.
Yes.
Inspect and clean.
Yes, and what they're going to inspect are like the chimney liners, the chimney bricks, and to make sure that if creosote is built up on the side, that needs to be cleaned off and taken care of.
Great.
Do you think it's like for older homes too, like you should really get that inspected more? Or?
Newer, older,
Oh,
doesn't
really?
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Does
Okay.
not matter. Nope. We don't see a difference between the newer or older homes. The only reason we might is because if it gets used more often or it's been a longer time before they've had it cleaned.
That's true.
Okay.
We have an outside fireplace on our porch, and we noticed that the brick is, the stone is cracked. So we were a little bit nervous about putting fires in there because we thought, oh, what's, with this crack here, should we get it inspected before we do it? So we really haven't done anything with it.
Is it the
fall.
stone on the outside or the brick that's on the inside?
Inside.
Yeah, then that's something you would definitely want to check for. And that's something that a fireplace specialist will check for as well. If that brick has been compromised in any way, that means heat's going to get beyond that crack and it's going to work its way back to the construction components of whether it be our house or whatever the outdoor chimney and fireplace is made of, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays, with their homes on their porches, they have the outdoor fireplaces or the fire pits or things like that.
Yes.
So when the chimney specialist or the person who's, able to inspect and clean, they should look to the interior and to the exterior of
if they're doing, yes.
any kind of wood burning or even gas burning.
Yeah, and the gas burning ones are a little more maintenance free.
Okay.
You'll notice that they're not going to discharge all the way to the roof line.
Right.
They may have an exhaust that's directly out the side of the house. There's a little bit of a different standard when it comes to that. Like I said, the wood burning ones are going to have to go through the roof line or at least above the roof line, above the peak of your house. So I can drive down the street and I can see everybody that would have a wood burning fireplace versus a gas fireplace because of how their exhaust is constructed.
Oh, okay.
So with the gas fireplace, there's a little bit less maintenance.
That's true, yeah.
But something you want to keep in tune for a while, or if you're using it a lot. I use mine a lot. The biggest thing that I always remind my kids is when we're using that fireplace, you don't put anything on the hearth or anything in front of the fireplace while it's in use because the heat blows out of it.
That's a great point.
Yes.
Because it's this time of year, people have all kinds of things for the holidays around the
Knickknacks.
fireplace, and people like to gather there. So just
Stocking.
make sure. What?
That's
Even
right,
stockings.
the
That
stockings.
hangs, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, that hangs.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, who came
Got
up
it.
with stockings? Hung
Wasn't
by
a
the
firefighter.
chimney with care.
Well, that's why you
Okay.
hang them with care.
That's right.
That's true.
And and you can't have a fire going when Santa's coming down.
But
the
we do
chimney.
have to have space for Santa to arrive, and
course.
we
That's right.
cannot have that in any way impeded. Okay.
Yes.
So what about these space heaters? Because a lot
Yes.
of people do use those.
In general, they're safe to use. We have one in my daughter's bedroom, and I'm perfectly okay with using it because it's mounted on the wall. We don't put anything near it. It has an automatic timer that it'll time out if it gets too hot. It is approved
wow.
by a third-party rating agency. Hers, in this case, is UL. So there are safety things that you can go with to make sure that you're using these in a efficient and in a safe manner.
Nice. I didn't realize there were ones for the wall that you could mount on the wall. I always think that the ones you plug into the.
Right.
It does both. Because she uses it throughout the season just to be a little cozier in her room at night. We decided to mount it to the wall and make sure that there's nothing in front of it. If it does have feet, it can freestand. And if by chance it gets knocked over, it automatically shuts off. If it overheats, it will automatically shut off. And one of the biggest things I want to remind everybody is when you buy these things, it says, hey, register your device with this. The reason we register these devices is if there's any recalls or if there's any manufacturer warranties that come into play, we need to be notified.
Oh, that's true.
And that's how those companies notify us. And I was terrible with that. Trust me, I was. But we actually bought a brand name heater. I did register it. I had to because it's controlled from my phone, luckily, and they notified me on my app that said, we're going to give full refunds to everybody. There's a fire hazard with this device.
Wow.
Cut the cord, take a picture of it, dispose of it properly, and we'll give you your money back.
That's
The
a
only way
great
I would have known that was by registering the device.
Absolutely. That's a great tip. I didn't even think about that. I'm always too late. I'm like, no. Somebody
Right.
else will do it.
Yeah, who cares, right? But the reason why it's done is exactly that. It's
Right.
not so they can track you and send you. Now, if they choose, there's typically a box too, because I'm not one that gets a lot of junk emails. I hate that. But typically when you register, there's a checkbox that's really far down at the bottom that says, I approve to be sent emails for marketing and stuff. You can uncheck that box and just register the product.
Yes, I think.
But it's important to be notified. And I had that experience years ago with actually a fire chief, and had an inspection company, and we registered every appliance and mechanical, and they were notified, and that fire was imminent. There was frayed wires in the dishwasher. And they sent a technician. The manufacturer's required to either service it or replace it. They sent a technician. And when they evaluated, they said fire was imminent.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, pay attention to that and don't ignore it. Yeah.
Great tip.
So because we have the cheat sheet, and we know where to get that, do we have, and I'm sure you do, so I'm asking probably
Don't be sure of
something.
everything.
Okay.
There's a lot of things we don't have. We're
Well-
always looking to improve.
Well, do you have any resources of how a family can basically do some planning and education for children? Like, is there a role that we should think about? Well, two things. Number one, is there a resource that we can just go through as a family and come up with a plan in the event of an emergency that we need to regather or something like that in that emergency? And then number two, when we're thinking about children, because this is such an exciting time of the year for so many people, is there something that you can think of that's easy for a child to remember around what we're saying today?
Ask them. Because we go to every school and we teach them fire prevention.
Okay.
It's actually part of their curriculum
Oh, really?
wow.
with the Peters Township School District, yes.
Okay.
What grade do you start with?
We do K through 3.
Oh, really?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's a great program, and we always talk about it with kids because kids are so influential in the home.
Right.
To your point, what if we don't have kids though? What if there isn't that child element that's going to teach us these things?
Right.
We have a bunch of resources not only on our website but other websites to direct you to get those as well.
Perfect.
So if we
Yes.
don't have that directly, there is something that you can be directed to from our website that may have that information. One of the things that you had talked about is how do we practice these things? Well,
Right.
in every school, every month, we conduct a fire drill. The high school was no exception. We do every school, even preschools in the township, daycares, everything. We do 43 fire drills in the township a month.
Wow.
A
Wow.
month.
That's
And
wonderful.
It is wonderful. If you think about that, though, Sharon, like
Okay.
as being, your family, you don't say to your kids and your family or whoever lives with you, "Hey, let's do a practice fire drill here at the house." Do you know what I mean? Like we don't do that.
why not?
I know. Why
And that-
not?
We
should.
We practice
should.
them at school. We do one a month at school. Is doing one a month realistic at home? It's very easy to do. You could.
Right.
But what we really want to ask people is at least twice a year, go over this stuff with your family.
Right.
And my kids were actually instrumental. After our firefighters taught them fire prevention at school, they came back to me and said, "Daddy, you're the fire chief. Where's our meeting place outside?" I said, "Well, I'm glad you asked that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I'm embarrassed that you had to ask because we try to make it very
He's a wonderful father. He should never be embarrassed.
we want to make it very apparent to them. But we picked a better spot. It was at the tree across the street in our neighbor's yard, but guess
Right.
what we had to do? Cross the street. The fire trucks are going to be coming up the
Oh.
street. So we worked as a family together, all 5 of us, and we picked a better spot. We now go to the mailbox. That's where we're going to gather. We're going to be there, and heaven forbid if one of us aren't there, when the firefighters come up, we're able to direct them to say, because that's right where they're going to get off the truck.
Right.
Somebody isn't here, and that's where their bedroom is, and they'll be
Oh
able
my
to just
gosh.
right then and there go get it.
Yeah, that's scary, and that's so good that you have that plan.
But
you
can
always
we practice that?
right.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes, we can practice that.
I don't know why we don't. you
It's
know.
as simple as taking a
mean,
broom handle and testing one
Sharon
of
and
the
I
detectors.
both had a bad experience when we were young. Both
Mm-hmm.
of us, I suffered a fire when I was 4 or 5 years old with my brother. Our house caught on fire, everything was gone. So this is so dear to our hearts to talk about this, because of the fear of when you do go through something so horrific like that and lose everything, that it's, you want to make sure people are aware and the community knows, listen, this is what you need to do. I mean, the smoke detectors too, the one was beeping and I couldn't take it anymore, so I just took it off. But it was just in one of the kids' bedrooms. I'm like, okay, it's just in one of the kids' bedrooms. It's not, but there's ones in the kitchen everywhere else. But I find myself, I put a new battery in, it's still beeping. I think that's like the hard thing too.
Well, and I take it from the approach of as a fire safety professional and as a family member who has experienced fire in our family as well.
Right.
It's not foreign to anybody but us, and everybody has that mentality sometimes. Well, you watch the news and there was a family displaced and there's a fire here, there's a fire there. Well, it's not going to happen to me.
Right.
We hope it doesn't. We want to make sure that it doesn't. And one of our major initiatives with the Peters Township Fire Department is community risk reduction and how we can be safer as a community.
Right.
So you're going to see us all the time. We're not going to be sitting there waiting for the next call to happen. We're proactive. We're in the community. When you see a fire truck driving around, they may be doing a commercial inspection, they may be doing a residential inspection where somebody's requested us to come look at what their fire safety tips are,
Right.
things like that. So we want to take that proactive approach.
I know you brought a prop, so if
Yes.
you want to show us a little bit of your.
I know we're
running out of time.
We're running out of time, but
Yes.
a couple of things. We just really, we definitely want to see your props. But if there's anything that our communities can do to support you and the fire department, you know, go on to the website. I'm sure you have other resources.
We're
If
posting
we know
something
that-
on Facebook at least once a week, whether it be a fire safety tip or, hey, here's something that we're doing for the week, or here's a tip that you may not know. Our
Right.
fire department's a combination fire department.
Yeah.
People may ask, what is a combination fire department?
Yes.
Well, we're a combination of career and volunteer members.
Wonderful.
It's two organizations that make one, right? We've got career, full-time, part-timers, but we also have a team of volunteers that helps us with all of that stuff.
I love
so
that.
it takes
Wonderful.
community support.
It really
takes
does.
all of that. And this community is wonderful. I grew up here. I currently live here. I left for like 3 years and I moved into an adjacent community and it just wasn't the same. So,
Right.
you know, I came right
You
back.
came
and,
back.
and
We're
I
glad
love,
you're here.
and I love being here.
I wish we had more time because there's so many other things.
We
that
have so many
This could
things
be
to
like
talk
part
about.
one.
we can do a segment too, but one of
can
the
do
things
part
that I did bring,
Yes.
And thank
It-
you so much for making time for us
Yes.
Oh,
and
no
for our
problem.
community.
Right.
Thank you.
this is a hoverboard. Your kids may see it. It's very common. It's an electronic device inside of that hoverboard because they don't last forever. There's a battery pack. This is the actual battery pack that we took out of this hoverboard.
Wow.
The reason why I bring this in. Lithium-ion batteries are a big fire safety initiative for us this year and across the entire nation.
Okay.
When this is no good anymore, we don't just throw it out
Yes.
because
Okay.
it has this in it. When a garbage truck compacts this, it can go into what's called thermal runaway and it will catch fire on its own. It will catch the dump truck or the garbage truck on fire. We've had 2 so far this year, so
Oh
it
my
does happen.
goodness.
But more importantly, when we're charging these at home, we want to make sure we're using the charger that came with the device.
Okay.
Because if
Okay.
we plug it in and it's charging it too fast, it can degrade this device and it can cause a fire in our home. We want to use the charger that came with the device, and when it's no good, we want to properly dispose of it. How do we dispose of it? The Township Office of Service, that's Waste Management, at your door. You go on the website, you request that service, they'll come right to your door and dispose properly of that electronic device
Thank
with
you.
a battery.
Thank you.
Yes, and if you have any questions, you know, go to the website, the Facebook.
Call, email,
Call,
whatever it may
email.
be. We're
Thank
here.
Call, email.
Thank you so much, Chief,
Thank
for
you.
being
Oh,
here
no
today
problem.
and
Absolute
giving your
pleasure.
time.
Thank you.
Also, thank you to the Peters Township
Thank
student production crew, and all the girls back there. And next time, Sharon and I will be here. We'll talk about a pastry chef, holiday baking. So we thank you so much for joining us with Hometown Conversations
Thank you.
with Sharon and Jenny. Take care.
Bye-bye.